It all started with a little curiosity. In 1960s California, Kevin Mitnick, who grew up alone due to his mother's long working hours, had made the streets of Los Angeles his playground. But his explorations extended far beyond parks and buildings, into the mysterious world of technology and communication. At just 12 years old, he pulled off his first hack by figuring out the city bus ticket system. With the secret of the punch tool he learned from a driver under the guise of an innocent school project and discarded tickets, he traveled the entire city for free for months. This was just the first act in his war with the system. In high school, this curiosity turned him into a phreaker who infiltrated phone lines. He would get into McDonald's drive-through ordering systems to mess with customers and used his social engineering skills to trick phone company employees into giving up secret information. He had deciphered human psychology more than technology. He would call someone, give them incorrect information, and get the correct information he wanted by having the other person correct him. When this young genius infiltrated a giant tech company's system with a landline phone and copied its operating system software, he had already signaled that he would one day turn the cyber world upside down.
Kevin Mitnick was probably the world's most notorious cyber thief when he was captured in 1995.
By the time the 1980s arrived, Kevin Mitnick was already a legend in the underground hacker world. He had no concern for making money. His sole motivation was curiosity and challenge. He broke into systems, covered his tracks, and used the art of duping people as his greatest weapon. However, when these games sent him behind bars for the first time, he became one of the youngest people in the world convicted of a computer crime. When he got out of prison, he had no intention of settling down. He infiltrated NORAD, the critical US military network, and the Pentagon via ARPANET, the predecessor to the internet. When he was caught again in 1988, the prison sentence and subsequent probation were not enough to stop him. His life as a fugitive began right around this time. He became the first computer hacker to land on the FBI's most wanted list. He changed identities and cities using unbelievable methods to avoid leaving a digital trail. On one occasion, he even managed to stay one step ahead of the FBI agents tasked with catching him by wiretapping their phones. The only thing the agents found when they raided his place was a box of donuts with "For the FBI" written on it. He roamed the systems of giants like Motorola, Novell, and Fujitsu, capturing valuable source code but never selling any of it. For him, just knowing he could do it was enough. Just as every hunter eventually becomes the hunted, it was Kevin's own hubris that led to his downfall. The target he set his sights on was Tsutomu Shimomura, the most famous computer security expert of the time. By infiltrating Shimomura's system, he both obtained a piece of software he was looking for and satisfied his own ego. However, there was something he didn't know. Shimomura had detected a previous infiltration attempt and had installed a tracking tool on his system. This small mistake brought about the end of the legend. Tsutomu joined forces with the FBI, and by following Kevin's digital footprints, cornered him in his rented apartment in North Carolina.
The FBI's most wanted computer hacker is behind bars. Kevin Mitnick was...
He was caught in 1995. Prosecutors, in an attempt to convince the judge of how dangerous he was, claimed he could launch nuclear missiles by whistling into a telephone. This claim was proof of how significant a threat he was perceived to be. After years of court proceedings, he was sentenced to approximately 6 years in prison. When he was released in 2000, however, he stepped into a completely different life. The once most feared cybercriminal was now one of the world's most respected security consultants. With the company he founded, he began providing security services to the very giant firms he had once defeated. A software vulnerability isn't the problem. That can be fixed somehow. The real issue is you can't download a patch for human stupidity, he said, once again emphasizing the power of social engineering. Unfortunately, he lost his battle with pancreatic cancer and passed away in 2023, before he could see his unborn child. The adventure that began with bus tickets had come to an end at the pinnacle of the cyber world.
So, what are your thoughts on this topic? Share your opinions in the comments.